live once, and why not live to be great? Don't live to be good.
Mas o objetivo maior é sim acordar pensando que dia eu vou ser campeão novamente.
I believe I'm the best in the world, and I'm just gonna go out there and prove it.
I'm better than this guy. I'm better than anybody in 145. I'll fight anyone, anywhere, anytime.
He wants to fight, and that's what I'm gonna do. I know I'm gonna bring hell with me. I'm gonna keep going. I need that belt.
I respect him. But when it comes fight night, the respect gotta disappear for 15 minutes.
Pra dar o meu melhor. E quando eu dou o meu melhor, não perco. Meu foco principal é quebrar a confiança dele nessa luta.
Yacaré es un guerrero. Yo soy otro. Vamos a dar el alma y que voy a ser campeón. Tengo talento para esto.
Quem passar aí provavelmente vai lutar mais uma vez pelo cinturão.
I'm gonna steal the show. I'm gonna take this for my own, and I'm gonna get my title shot.
No dia 18 de abril, eles vão levantar o meu braço.
On April 18th, 6 of the UFC's most elite contenders will assemble as Newark, New Jersey hosts one of the biggest UFC fight nights ever held, live on Fox. In the thrilling main event, a potential shot at UFC middleweight gold will be on the line. As Lyoto Machida, the UFC's foremost karate master and one of the most innovative mixed martial artists of all time, squares off against former Strikeforce middleweight champion Luke Rockhold, whose extraordinary athleticism, both on his feet and on the ground, make him one of the most versatile and powerful contenders in any division.
That's it! That's it! Luke Rockhold!
Tonight's stellar co-main event will feature 2 more top middleweight contenders looking to steal the show. In the menacing forms of Jacare Souza, hailed by some as the greatest jiu-jitsu artist in MMA history.
This could be it! That's the tap out!
And Cuban Olympic wrestling silver medalist Yoel Romero, whose recent flurry of dominant knockouts have given opponents nowhere to hide.
And it's all over!
In a third thrilling matchup, a pair of featherweights intent on further ascending the UFC's most stacked division will go to battle. As Cub Swanson, one of the UFC's most electrifying fighters, looks to wield his world-class boxing and extraordinary finishing instincts
And that's gonna do it!
against fearless young gun Max Holloway, whose 5 consecutive wins have cemented his status as one of the division's brightest rising stars. For each contender, as they ready to converge on New Jersey from around the globe, the stakes have never been higher, the pressure never more intense, and the implications of victory never greater.
Unbelievable!
As their road to UFC Fight Night begins. Born and raised in a California city famous for its waves, Luke Rockhold begins his day with a familiar routine.
Growing up, Santa Cruz, California, it's a beautiful place. In the off-season, when I wasn't wrestling, I was surfing and skateboarding. Surfing was huge for me.
Luke Rockhold's caliber of surfing was strong enough that he considered going pro, like his older brother Matt.
The last time we surfed, I got staples in my head.
Got a nice gash. What, 5 staples?
Yeah,
Oh,
look at that thing.
What?
And on this day, the two are joined by longtime friend Nat Young, Pro Surfing's 2013 Rookie of the Year.
I think surfing, I have to credit with a lot. It was a big part of my life. That's why I really learned how to take pain and punishment and get back up and go for it again.
Today, to get waves like that with nobody else around except for your good friends and your brother, it's pretty special.
He's pretty darn good. He got better all today, and that's not something that just anyone can do.
It was always a far-off dream to be a professional surfer. I got pretty good, and I liked it, but I love fighting. There's just something about it.
6'3" Luke Rockhold has an extraordinary knack for ending fights, including stoppages of his last 3 opponents in a mere 10.5 total minutes.
That'll do it! Rockhold!
Finishes where he displayed both his world-class submission technique and high-caliber striking.
Oh, and a head kick! Bisping's down!
To move within range of a UFC title shot. For Rockhold, a return to the gym means training with 2 of the UFC's very best. Heavyweight champion Cain Velasquez and former U.S. Olympic wrestler, as well as current top light heavyweight contender, Daniel Cormier.
I think we have the best team in the world. We have Cain Velasquez, the baddest man on the planet, heavyweight champ of the world, been kicking my ass for the last 8 years.
Luke, he's the hardest guy to hit in the gym. He's so fast, and he hits hard.
And then bringing on DC, when he first came in the gym, we had a pretty rough sparring match, and we just sat in the corner and just chin up, hands down, and just started winging them at each other. That was a sign of a little bond right there, a little friendship.
The guy's gifted with everything. You know, he can fight. He's got good looks. He's got a smart mouth, too, you know, so I love any chance I get to punch him.
350 miles to the south, Rockhold's legendary Brazilian opponent can be found enjoying the Southern California lifestyle and looking right at home in the city that he adopted 3 years ago. Lyoto Machida debuted in the UFC in 2007 and became a sensation.
Trying to get the knee. Got 1, got 2, got 3, got 4, 5, 6. Relentless knees from Machida.
Winning 7 straight en route to the light heavyweight title.
He's down. He's down. It's all over.
In October 2013, the lean 6'1" Brazilian dropped to middleweight and immediately secured 2 impressive victories, and subsequently succeeded in giving the division's champion Chris Weidman the toughest fight of his career.
Machida again.
Including a brilliant 4th round in a closely fought contest.
What a fight! What a fight!
Machida's quest for a rematch resumed 5 months later, when he returned to the Octagon with a 62-second dominant performance against C.B. Dalloway. A win that has the immensely talented Brazilian once again focusing his mind and body on becoming only the 3rd UFC fighter to hoist gold in multiple divisions.
Para mim, acordar, treinar, isso fortalece meu espírito, fortalece o meu corpo. Às vezes eu gosto de ir na praia sozinho, respirar um pouco. Consigo ver o que eu estou precisando melhorar. Focar no que eu quero. Mas o objetivo maior é sim acordar pensando que um dia eu vou ser campeão novamente. Eu não quero pensar muito lá na frente. Vou lutar contra o Luke, então o Luke para mim é o momento mais importante. Eu sou um cara que eu treino todos os dias, independente, desde quando eu era criança. Então isso me faz preparado para lutar, né, com qualquer um, em qualquer momento.
While his opponent trains with heavyweight champion Cain Velasquez, Machida trains with the man who staked his own claim to the title of baddest man on the planet, when Velasquez was sidelined last year due to injury. Interim champion Fabricio Verdun.
I know Lyoto like a long time. He's my good friend. I trained with him a long time. Now I train here in UFC gym with him.
A gente faz a preparação física muitas vezes juntos. O Verdun é um cara que é super alegre, super engraçado. É um cara que isso aí favorece bastante, né, o rendimento.
He's very disciplined. Maybe just 1 or 2 more fights here I got the belt for sure again.
No momento agora que é o Luke, mas com certeza logo em seguida eu quero uma chance pelo cinturão.
Yacaré es un guerrero, yo soy otro. Esta noche va a ser algo para la historia.
Vou estar preparado. Dia 18 de abril, estarei preparado para qualquer coisa, entendeu?
I'm going to take your head off every second of the fight, and I'm going to do it with a smile.
There's no stopping me right now, especially when someone thinks they're a better striker than me.
Since moving to the United States in 2012, Lyoto the Dragon Machida has conquered many obstacles. But one thing that can still vex the karate master is the notorious challenge of perfecting a second language.
Well equipped today, as you can
Yeah,
tell.
you are.
We are here in America, and we want to fit in American culture.
We have English class twice a week. It's hard because we are old. We moved to the United States old. But I think we are getting better.
S. Makes sense. To be persistent.
To be persistent.
To not give up. You know, even if someone says no, you keep going. They say no again, you keep going. You can use that in many different situations in life.
Fabiola
right?
was very persistent girlfriend.
Yeah, that's a really good example.
That's why we are together.
She insists a lot. To learn something new outside the octagon, it's very important to make me a better fighter. I like to push myself. I like, to challenge myself. I think it's important to challenge my brain, to learn something new.
Machida's thirst for knowledge continues inside the gym as he summons renowned jiu-jitsu master Henner Gracie to help thwart Rockhold's vaunted ground game.
Luke is an amazing athlete and incredible grappler, you know, so he brings a lot of jiu-jitsu, a lot of submission skills. So it's going to be tough, you know, but we're teaching Lyoto somewhat of an anti-jiu-jitsu, how to basically be good enough at jiu-jitsu to not let jiu-jitsu work against him. I think this is going to be one fight where we're really going to see Lyoto's ground game and the evolution of his jiu-jitsu in the octagon.
Boa. Trocar o braço de dentro, vamos trabalhar. Boa, vamos passar, troca a perna e vamos passar puxando o braço. Troca as pernas, troca as pernas.
Essa é uma luta que todo mundo tem que assistir, porque é uma luta de dois lutadores tops, realmente, né, que já foram campeões de... Eu sei que ele é um lutador, é um cara mais alto, é um cara que tem um reach maior, mas assim, são coisas assim que eu procuro não me preocupar muito. Conheço meu corpo, conheço meu oponente, tenho mais experiência e tenho muita vontade também de me tornar o campeão. Eu estou muito tranquilo, estou muito bem preparado. Essa vitória é minha. Não importa como vai ser, mas essa vitória vai ser minha.
Machida and Rockhold share much in common, including confidence and close-knit families.
I grew up in a big family. We're all pretty close. Try to involve them and be around them as much as possible.
I've never seen you dance.
Yeah, you either shadowbox or you dance.
My little sister, Lee, she's about 5 years younger than me. She just had a newborn, so we got a new baby niece, Delilah. That's definitely brought us all a little closer. Family can always keep you grounded. You know, people will jump on your bandwagon, but, you know, that's what family's for. You can't always get away with everything.
Attaboy, all the way through. All the way through. Keep going. Turn it around.
I don't think anybody in the sport works harder than me and smarter than me. When it's focus time, there's no one that dedicates more of their time and energy in the right direction than I do.
You got it. Now that's perfect.
I think 85 is like the perfect division. Anyone can beat anyone on any given day. That's what pushes me and inspires me to better myself every day. I don't want to be in a weak division.
Good, Luke. Attaboy, slow down, time under tension.
Once I have an opponent across from me trying to take what I've worked for my whole life and all my dreams away from me, it just motivates me.
There you go, lock it in right there, that's perfect. Try to take your hips to the ceiling.
My fight with Lyoto's a legend. He's one of the best of all time. He's right there in his prime. I love it. I can't wait to get in there with him and show him what I got and show the world what I got. You see me in there, I've kind of been a different guy the last few fights. I found the mindset to relax and not to be too aggressive, just let things come and see things. Once you start calming yourself, you reach those next levels. There's a recipe to beat everybody. I have the recipe to beat Lyoto. I have a lot of weapons that he's never faced. I believe in myself. I'm going to go out there. I'm going to put a statement on him. I'm going to finish Lyoto Machida.
For half a decade, one of mixed martial arts' most remarkable fighters has made a home for himself in one of the world's most scenic cities. But for Jacare Souza, the calm beaches of Rio de Janeiro are a far cry from the Brazil he grew up in.
Então, eu nasci em Vila Velha, né, Espírito Santo, e cresci morando em Cariacica. Morar em Cariacica, em Nova Rosa da Penha, né, eu morava no bairro bem humilde, não tinha asfalto, né, e muitos morros. Então, eu estava próximo de um amigo meu, um amigo bem chegado mesmo, a gente vivia junto. E ele sofreu um atentado, né? Ele pegou um tiro na boca, assim, tava do meu lado. E minha mãe me tirou do bairro onde nós morávamos, me botou para morar na casa de uma amiga dela. E ligou pro meu irmão mais velho que morava em Manaus, o Reginaldo. E ela pediu para eu sair do Espírito Santo.
É sim! Lutar! Vai vencer! Vai vencer!
Ronaldo Souza's fearsome reputation as one of the world's foremost submission experts has resulted in him simply being known as Jacare. Translation, the alligator. Widely regarded as one of MMA's greatest Brazilian jiu-jitsu aces, the multiple-time black belt world champion has tapped out a remarkable 15 opponents among his 21 MMA victories. And on his current 7-fight win streak, he has displayed both impressive stand-up power and his trademark ground dominance. Now, one more win would bring the #1 ranked middleweight contender a pivotal step closer toward a shot at UFC gold. A shot that has accelerated rapidly since Souza moved to a new city and a new gym to further his mastery of the mixed martial arts.
O que tem diferente na XG, eu posso dizer que é o treinamento. Que quando você entra na XG, você pode ter certeza que você vai treinar muito, que você vai ter que se abdicar, porque se você não descansar um dia antes, você não vai render um dia depois.
A primeira vez que eu vi o Jacare foi sendo campeão mundial de jiu-jitsu, né? O Jacare lutava jiu-jitsu, o Jacare vinha de Manaus pro Rio, sem uma condição de transporte, né? Então ele vinha mesmo com o amor em vencer, né? E ele conseguiu.
É o ímpeto dele, né? A vontade de vencer. Ele não gosta de perder nem para o ímpar, né? Nunca para. Muita técnica, sempre surpreende. Você vai. Ele é que nem uma locomotiva. Quando ele esquenta, parece que pensa que ele cansou. Não, aí que tá bom mesmo, vai embora. É movido de dias. Esquentou, não para mais.
O Jacare tá preparado para ganhar o cinturão do Ultimate. O foco é o cinturão. Então, quem tiver pelo nosso caminho, nós vamos pular por cima, porque o nosso foco é botar o cinturão, que o Brasil precisa de um campeão.
Over 4,000 miles away, an imposing opponent readies for the challenge in Miami, just north of his homeland that he escaped 8 years ago.
Cuba es alegre, pero es un enigma para el mundo porque los cubanos se quieren ir para hacer sus sueños realidad, para progresar, para ver a su familia mejor, para que sus hijos tengan un mejor futuro. El deportista de Cuba es sencillo, es humilde, pero se da cuenta de que lo que está sudando no va con su salario. Las cosas duelen. Con dolor en el corazón, dejé Cuba, pero Dios me ha hecho prosperar.
Yoel Romero is undisputedly one of the greatest wrestlers to ever wield his skills inside the octagon.
This kid is sensational.
But thus far in the UFC, the 1999 freestyle wrestling world champion and 2000 Olympic silver medalist has dominated opponents by finishing 4 of his last 5 fights via strikes.
It's all over! Right on!
Results that have succeeded in putting the middleweight division on notice. And if Romero can upset the #1 ranked middleweight contender in Jacare Souza, he may steal the Brazilian's thunder and surge ahead in the middleweight rankings. Training out of acclaimed American top team since his arrival in the U.S., Romero begins his busy training day by finding the time for a young athlete who may lack perfect vision, but more than makes up for it with heart.
We sponsor all the vision impaired kids for the American top team. Wherever they want to come over, you know, they have full scholarship.
There you go. There you go. How long have you been wrestling?
Since I was about 3 years old.
You like it?
Yeah. He's the strongest here, right?
Yep, I think he's the beast for this place right now.
Oh.
Es un muchacho muy sorprendente. Tiene un gran corazón y eso es lo que hace el ser humano.
There you go. Work his neck.
Le estaba diciendo a mi entrenador, oye, tiene power punch. Sí, se lo sentí. Que viva heavy. No. Es totalmente diferente. Es servirle de ejemplo a jóvenes. Servirle de ímpetu, de impulso a jóvenes. No trabajo en base a un atleta, no para hacer mejor en la pelea contra él, sino para mejorar yo. Esto me ayuda a ser mejor yo en el deporte, que le diste al público lo que deseaba. Vivir como un ejemplo, vivir para que otra gente te miren como ese espejo, a seguir en cosas buenas. Gracias.
Nicknamed Soldier of God, for Yoel Romero, Sundays are dedicated to family and devotion.
Bueno, hoy nos hemos levantado, ¿no?, para la iglesia a recibir la palabra del Señor. Y cuando terminamos siempre nos vamos a cenar. Generalmente vamos nosotros tres. Aquí tenemos unos tostones rellenos de camarones, ¿sabe?, con pico de gallo, saben delicioso. Está sabroso. Es bien importante, soy del partidario de que siempre a tus hijos tienes que hablarle de tus raíces. La familia que tengo en Cuba es, tú sabes, bien grande. Te cuento que mi hijo es mi primogénito, al cual amo, extraño muchísimo. Algún día, en Dios confío, que me sentaré con él como mismo estoy sentado contigo. Y le contaré todas las cosas, y le contaré por qué salí de Cuba, le contaré de su papá. Le contaré sin pelos en la lengua. Le contaré las cosas buenas, las cosas malas que su papá ha hecho. Para que le sirva de ejemplo, para que le sea como lumbrera para su camino. De algo grande, pero algo grande te vendrá al frente. Ser atleta, creo que la palabra queda pequeña. Atleta queda pequeña. Porque ese sacrificio que llevan los atletas. Ser atleta, te digo, es para héroes. Y acá eres un guerrero. Yo soy otro. Esta noche va a ser casco para la historia. Bro, esto es una batalla. Tengo talento para esto. Yo voy a ser campeón.
South of the equator, the #1 ranked middleweight contender also has clear priorities outside the octagon.
Olha, o mais importante na vida do jacaré é, sem sombra de dúvida, a família. Ele dá muita importância a isso. Ele coloca a família sempre em primeiro lugar.
Olha, faz carinho no Loenzo.
Com as crianças, ele só gosta de fazer bagunça. É o dia inteiro fazendo bagunça. É pular, correr, pular, correr.
É complicado escrever, né, eu como pai, mas eu acredito que eu esteja fazendo um bom trabalho, né? Meus filhos amam estar comigo, eles gostam muito da minha presença. Isso me deixa muito feliz, porque eu sinto que eles têm a confiança em mim E eles gostam de estar comigo, gostam da minha presença. Algumas vezes para limpar, para dar banho, então eles pedem que seja eu, então eu fico todo feliz e vou correndo fazer. A família é a base de tudo, né? Eu acredito que se você tiver uma base na família, é bem difícil você cair, entendeu?
Ele vai devolver na sua. Olha aqui, ó. Olha só.
Estou indo preparado para uma luta bem dura. E o meu foco principal é quebrar a confiança dele nessa luta. No dia 18 de abril, na luta contra o Yoel Romero, estarei preparado para qualquer coisa, entendeu? Pô, tô esperando tudo do meu adversário, né? Tô esperando o wrestling forte que ele tem. Ele tem uma mão muito dura, que eu acredito que possa complicar qualquer um, inclusive eu, mas eu vou estar preparado para qualquer coisa que ele tenha para mim. Eu acredito muito no meu potencial, eu acredito nos meus treinamentos. Com certeza, sem sombra de dúvidas, eu serei o próximo campeão peso médio do UFC. Para dar o meu melhor. E quando eu dou o meu melhor, não perco.
30 miles west of Honolulu, in a part of Oahu tourists rarely visit, lives one of the UFC's most formidable rising stars.
When people come down to visit, they tell them, you don't want to go Waianae. That's the part of town I live in. They kind of X us out as this, a bad community, like only bad people here. Drugs and partying and alcohol. But I love my city, I love being from Waianae. I love the smell of the sewer plant, and then that's how you know, like, this is home, It's a crazy thing, but this is where I want to be.
A proud product of the dry, rugged west side of Oahu since making his UFC debut at just age 20, Max Holloway's arsenal of kicks, knees, and elbows have secured his status as one of the featherweight division's most promising prospects. Despite his current 5-fight win streak, including 4 of those victories by impressive stoppage, the Hawaiian phenom has never forgotten his humble roots.
Hi guys, my name is Max Holloway. I'm a UFC fighter and from Waianae, Hawaii, from here, right where you guys from. The hope I want to give these kids when I come talk is just that motivation to just be greater than what Waianae has to offer, There's only one person that needs to believe in you, and that's yourself. Don't let nothing stop you, and don't let someone tell you you cannot do your dream.
How is like being a UFC fighter, like training and
It's great, man. I love it. You get fans all over the world, And I get paid. I get paid at the end of the day. If you fight on the streets, you fight over here, you get suspended. At the end of my career, when it's all said and done, I want that UFC gold, I want to be known as one of the greatest MMA fighters ever lived. But then what would really make my day is 10 years, 20 years from now, when a young man, young lady comes knocking on my door and tells me, you changed my life. I'd break down in tears, That's what it is, changing one person's life at a time. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Everywhere I go, there's people there honking their horns. When I'm running on the street, they're yelling to me, And it's not like a celebrity, It's not that celebrity side. It's more of a respect thing, I think they respect me for what I'm doing for our town. I want to show people in Waianae and show the world that people from Waianae can be successful. If Max Holloway can do it, why not me? Growing up in Waianae, you don't want people to try you. You don't want people to test you. That's why I got into kickboxing. The first day I trained, I got punched in the face, and the first thing that went through my mind was, I gotta punch this guy back in the face,
Showed up at the gym one day and actually just never left. His strongest traits, his attitude, always willing to do the hard stuff that not a lot of people want to. You know, his will, his heart is kind of what really allowed him to get to the top.
It doesn't come down to technique anymore. You can be training hard, I train hard. What it really comes down to when you're in there with someone is your heart. Who wants it more?
Max has got it. He's ready. We train together all the time, and his style, he's ready for anybody in the UFC.
I'm 100% sure I can beat Cub. That's just the confidence I have. And that's the confidence you need. I believe in myself. Wherever the fight takes place, I think I'm better. I might be biased, but it gets me by. I'm gonna take your head off every second of the fight, and I'm gonna do it with a smile.
Over 2,600 miles to the east, Holloway's youthful ambition is on a collision course with a veteran's willful determination.
I don't want to be a guy that's just lingering around for no reason, you know? I want to be winning fights. I want to be working towards something. I want to go out there and I want to dominate. That's what I want.
Few fighters in UFC history can match Cub Swanson's extraordinary combination of striking technique and precision power. Power that has led to 15 impressive victories via stoppage.
Oh! Big right hand!
Cementing his reputation as one of the featherweight division's heaviest hitters, and leaving virtually every other contender in Swanson's rear view mirror.
And it is all over!
It's a path he looks to continue down as training camp commences under world-renowned boxing trainers Antonio and Joel Diaz, who also coached the likes of former WBC welterweight champion Victor Ortiz.
This is a family, it's a unit, and with the unit comes great people with, you know, from coaches to other fighters. Boxing, MMA, doesn't matter. You're treated equally and the same in this gym.
Being here in this boxing gym, I feel so fortunate because I've studied under so many great people. They've been able to teach me things about my game that most MMA fighters can't learn.
I started training Antonio Diaz. He became a world champion. Julio Diaz, Tim Bradley, four-time world champion, one of the best fighters in the world. Abner Mares, Vicente Escobedo. We have a great stable. That right there for Cub Swanson means a lot.
Hey, Cub, your RPMs are low. Look, 124. Come on, let's pick it up. I'm gonna pick them up. What? Come on. You went from 120 to 160. That's fast.
Joel's my main coach. He's really helped me with my slick boxing, stick and move. And Antonio, you know, when I came in here, he was still fighting professionally. And so I was one of his main sparring partners.
I tell him, Cub, you can fight anybody out there in boxing. You should go pro at least once.
Like that.
Working with both of them, it really completes my boxing game. You know, these guys being local heroes and kind of passing that on to me is really huge. My drive to compete has always been there my whole life. They wouldn't let me play games as a kid because I had to win. And at 3 years old, I was arguing with people on how the game should be played, and they're not doing it right. I'm always in the gym working. I'm always in the gym creating. And that's part of the reason why I've shown such progression in my career. I know Max is tough enough. I think we both have similar backgrounds, same upbringings, you know, very similar paths. But I've been in so many more wars in this fight game, and I want it more. There's no stopping me right now, especially when someone thinks they're a better striker than me. He's still a young kid, and he needs to be taught a few lessons.
Midway through his camp, Cub Swanson opts for a brief getaway to Northern California to train at one of the world's finest Muay Thai schools.
Contact level's good, flow. Some of the best 145-pound Muay Thai guys train here. Kevin Ross, Muay Thai world champion. Good, that's it. He's one of the only Americans to actually beat the Thais at Thai boxing. The inside or outside is reach, Cub. Inside or outside. Don't be at the end of it. There you go.
Cub, he's just trying to tighten up his stand-up game a little bit, which is really good anyway. He's real fast, you know, he's got a good style. I think it's just going to make him that much better than he already was. It's good for everybody. It's good for him. It's good for me, too.
Makes me confident going into this fight, knowing that all of my sparring partners are top-notch.
Cub Swanson wants to be the best version of Cub Swanson he can be. They're working it. Looking strong.
Back in his hometown, where he was born and raised, adversity is something that's followed Cub Swanson for as long as he can remember.
I feel like my life growing up was a lot of unfortunate circumstances.
When Cub was 2, his father passed away. I didn't know what to do with myself. So I started to drink and do drugs and decided it was best for my boys to live with their aunt. She ended up having them a long time.
When I was about 14, my stepfamily had gotten divorced, and my mom had been doing really well for a long time. I felt like she deserved to give it a try to be, you know, like a normal family.
It was really hard. They were rebellious. Cub, always being really strong-willed, he got into trouble.
Landed me in juvenile hall. I always remember all the transitional periods of my life. You know, a certain time where I changed directions, and that was one of them.
Time to eat! Time to eat! In juvenile hall, he used that time to graduate on time.
I was sneaking books back to my room and doing schoolwork, and I did about a year's worth of work in about 2 months.
He learns, and he tries to make himself better by his mistakes. I'm very proud of him for that.
I've never, ever held anything against my mom.
I've been sober for 22 years. That was the hardest part, to forgive myself for, that I could leave them for so long.
Sometimes I feel like my mom still feels like she has to prove her love, but, you know, we all know it. It's all good with me.
All right, guys. If you got one left in you, grab somebody and go.
I need that belt. To me, that's the stamp on my career. To me, that's the end of my journey. When I walk away, I go, yeah, I was number 1. The belt does mean something to me. He wants to fight, and that's what I'm gonna do. You know, Max is the perfect opponent for me for that. Instead of me worrying about stupid things in a fight, I can just go out there and create beautiful destruction like I've done in the past.
Halfway across the Pacific, Swanson's opponent enjoys one of Hawaii's favorite pastimes, barbecue.
Us Hawaii guys, we just like having barbecues. I just get the call, you know, hey, we're making a barbecue tonight. I'm like, okay, let's do this, you know, so it really just is a family thing, you know. Oh my God, Mom, they're filming, so you're not supposed to take a picture, you see. You need this kind of downtime to just, you know, see everyone, see all the faces, and just release and just forget about the world for a couple hours, you know. Second mom, I don't know. How do I go? The game has begun.
You got one. That's us.
No. Oh! Loses first. I didn't know my dad too much, you know. He kind of was in and out of my life until, like, maybe I was around, like, 8 years old, maybe a little bit older, and he just kind of disappeared. And then my mom used to do drugs, you know. It is what it is. It's a common thing here in Hawaii.
There was nobody to take care of them. Those babies was going from house to house. My husband, he always used to say, oh, let's just adopt the kids. I told her, your son told me he's going to have a baby. I said, if you want to see a grandchild, you're going to have to change your life.
When I had my son, Rush, he changed my life a lot. He made my world of thinking, like, kind of different.
The day that I gave birth, Max got signed to UFC. January 4, 2012 was a really remarkable day for us. We brought Rush into the world, and he signed his UFC contract at the hospital, actually.
Hey, baby, on the table. Come here, I'll turn the TV for you. Come on. Oh, eat your breakfast.
In Hawaii, everybody usually starts having family at a young age.
Eat your watermelon.
I am. Eat your watermelon.
Eat yours.
It really has forced him to grow up a lot, but he still has that child in him.
Eat your food. If you want to be great at a very young age, you gotta kind of grow up fast, you know? I sacrificed my time with my family because I knew where I wanted to be at a very young age. I just wanted to be the best that I can be. It just sucks, man. You miss out in a little kid's life, you know? You don't think of it at first, you know? But then when you come home and he starts doing backflips and look at me saying new words, it's amazing, you know? So you kind of miss a lot. But if you really want it that bad, you gotta sacrifice. If I came from a rich family, Max Holloway probably wouldn't be in front of you, you know? The bad times, the good times, all happen for a reason. That's why I'm here. I had to see those things to grow up quick. You know, I had to be from this town, why not? Because that's the things that pushed me. When I'm getting tired and stuff, you know, I think of my family, I think of my wife, I think of my son, and everything I worked hard for, and everything I came from. I'm not supposed to be here. Max Holloway is not supposed to be in front of you. But if you work hard enough, you can be wherever you want to be.
Around the world, for 6 elite athletes seeking glory at UFC Fight Night in Newark, the intensity of training camp quickens as April 18th rapidly approaches.
I'm better than this guy. I'm better than anybody in 145. I respect him. But when it comes fight night, the respect gotta disappear for 15 minutes. I think someone's gonna get knocked out.
There's no stopping me right now, especially when someone thinks they're a better striker than me. I've been in so many more wars in this fight game, and I want it more.
Meu foco principal é quebrar a confiança dele nessa luta. Eu acredito muito no meu potencial, acredito nos meus treinamentos. Com certeza, sem sombra de dúvidas, eu serei o próximo campeão peso médio do UFC. Não tem, eu serei o próximo.
Yacaré es un guerrero, yo soy otro. Vamos a dar el alma. Boxeo, como que me llevo en la sangre. Sí, se me queda bien natural. Esta noche va a ser algo para la historia.
Essa é uma luta que todo mundo tem que assistir, porque é uma luta de dois lutadores tops, realmente, né, que já foram campeões de diferentes eventos. Tenho mais experiência e tenho muita vontade também de me tornar o campeão. Estou muito tranquilo, estou muito bem preparado.
You know, someone's gonna get hurt in this fight. I believe I'm the best in the world, and I'm just gonna go out there and prove it. To that bell rings, I'm gonna be getting after him. You know, I got Jacare and Romero right underneath us as the co-main event. They're looking to prove their point as the #1 contender. You know, but I'm gonna steal the show. I'm gonna take this for my own, and I'm gonna get my title shot.
Their last moments of calm precede a momentous fight week where championship hopes and dreams will be decided as the Octagon rises in Newark and a blockbuster UFC fight night awaits.